Today is 11th November and today is Remembrance Day. On this day, we pay tribute to our soldiers who have served the nation and who are continuing to serve the nation. So, Remembrance Day tribute from Sukhmani Immigration Services. And hello friends, this is Satvinder Bhatia from Sukhmani Immigration Services, Brampton, Canada. I'm a regulated and licensed Canadian immigration consultant. Today's video is very special. It is not related to immigration. Yes, it is not related to immigration, but it is still very important for you. Anybody who is thinking to come to Canada, even as a visitor, even on study permit, even on a immigration, this video is very helpful for them. So we are going to talk about time which is not static, which changes. Yes, we are going to talk about time. So before we start today's video, a request: if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. We talk a lot about Canadian immigration news, update, tips and tricks on this channel. If you like the video, please share it with your family and friends, and please press the bell icon so that this video comes to you immediately when we upload. So without further delay, let's get started on today's important video. This is about time zones. Time zones in Canada. So in Canada is actually almost like 3 times bigger than India. Even in India, there is a difference. A sunrise happens much later in the western part, say Gujarat, Mumbai, as compared to eastern part where it is like Guwahati, Calcutta. But in India there is only one time zone. Same is the case with Pakistan. There also the time zone is one. So, but here in Canada, this is not true. We have different time zones. So we'll talk about the time zone, but before that, a simple map which you see available. So here you can see when there is a night in one part of the world, there is day in another part. This is, you know that, because the part which faces sun has day, the part which is opposite to the sun has night. So if there is night in one part, there is day in another part of the world. If you are in India, then here if it is night time, then in India it is morning time. So simple. So you can switch morning and night time. Now it's easier to check. If you want to check, now there are so many gadgets, so many online tools, tips, tricks available that you can check easily what is the time in another part of the world. So there is a website which you can go, which is like time and date. You can add various clocks and see what is the time in the other part of the world. Similarly, you can do it on your phone also. You have a world clock option on the phone. You can add different cities and you can see what the time in the other city. So here in Canada, there is not one static time. At one particular time, we have 6 different time zones. Unlike India, unlike Pakistan, where there is only one time zone. Here we have 6 different time zones. So these time zones are NST. NST is Newfoundland time and Newfoundland Standard Time, NST. Then we have Atlantic, which is Atlantic Standard Time. So Atlantic is mostly towards all the provinces, the 4 provinces, but Newfoundland is little towards eastern part. So 3 provinces together have Atlantic Standard Time. Now, Eastern Standard Time. So Eastern Standard Time, EST, is where we are, where Toronto is there, where Brampton, Mississauga, where you have New York, Michigan, all these follow EST time zone, Eastern Standard Time. Then you have CST, which is Central Standard Time. So this is if you are in Winnipeg, you follow Central Standard Time, CST. Then we have Mountain Standard Time, MST. Mountain Standard Time is for areas like Alberta, Calgary, particularly like Calgary is a city, so Alberta is a province. And Calgary, Edmonton, they have MST, Mountain Standard Time. Then you have Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Standard Time is for cities like Vancouver, Surrey, California also. In US they have the PST time. Pacific is close to the Pacific Ocean. So that is why Pacific Standard Time. So these are 6 different time zones in Canada. So at one particular point, if you are say in Brampton, and Brampton you are having a time 6 p.m. in the evening, then see here what's happening. So in NST, which is St. John's, in St. John's you will have 7:30 in Newfoundland, and then 7 p.m. in Halifax, 6 p.m. in Brampton, 5 p.m. in Winnipeg, and then Mountain Standard Time MST 4 p.m. in Calgary, Edmonton, and then 3 p.m. in Surrey, Vancouver. So at one time, if I am sitting in Brampton, that I have 6 p.m., then you see the difference. In other provinces we have 7:30 also, and we have afternoon timing also. So this is the amount of difference we have, and it is very important for new immigrants and those who are aspiring to come to Canada to understand this, because many of the, like you call a particular office, they say we are closed, but you look at your time and you say, oh, it's afternoon here, because they work by EST time. So they close by 6 and you call them at 3:30, you are in Vancouver, you call them at 3:30, they say we are closed. So it is important to understand the concept of different time zones and how you can, if you look at through the help of a map, it's easier to understand. So let's look through the map. If you look through the map, you will see it's easier, because if you start from the eastern side, extreme eastern side, you have NST, then followed by AST. So AST decrease after, there is a 1 hour lapse between these. So EST minus 1 hour is CST, CST minus 1 hour is mountain time, and mountain time minus 1 hour is PST. There is only half hour difference between AST and NST, otherwise it's almost like 1 hour difference each. So 1 hour you subtract 1 hour and you get the next time zone. Simple. But for NST and AST, the difference is just 30 minutes. So these are the 6 different time zones in Canada. Some interesting facts. So one of the interesting facts is that Quebec has 2 time zones. So some parts of the Quebec follow EST and some part of the Quebec follow Atlantic time, because that's more towards the Atlantic area. Ontario also has 2 different time zones. Most of the Ontario has EST time, but certain western part of the Ontario has CST time. And then you have Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan also has 2 time zones, because most of the Saskatchewan follows CST, but certain part of the Saskatchewan, which is towards the west, follows the mountain time also. Nunavut is a real exception. This province has 3, you believe it, 3 time zones. Yes, Nunavut is a province which has 3 different time zones at one particular time. So depends which province you are. If suppose your friend is there in say now Newfoundland and you are in Vancouver, imagine the difference you have. So they have 7:30 p.m. and you have 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So that's how the concept of time is very important. Another very important concept which is not seen in India, Pakistan at all, that concept is called daylight saving time. So daylight saving time is basically a practice of moving the clocks ahead in the fall by 1 hour, and then during the summers we again move forward. So fall back, spring we forward. In the fall we put our clocks back 1 hour back. So most of the electronics, your laptops, your electronic watches, many of the digital clocks, they all automatically, they have the setting, they automatically get adjusted. In the November 1st week Sunday around 2 a.m. this adjustment happens. So in summers again during the March time we move the clocks forward. Now one question, why do we do that? This never happens in other parts of the world. Particularly in India, Pakistan, you don't see that. Some countries in Europe and some in the other northern hemisphere like US and Canada, they do that. But why? The reason behind this is that northern hemisphere do not really, they do not get that much light. So when they do not get light, that's why they move the clocks so that they can adjust and make adjustment according to the light. And this is called daylight saving time. So this adjustment is done primarily so that maximum sunshine is available. So these are two very important concepts, daylight saving time and time zones. So these concepts, many people who are coming here to Canada or who are planning to come to Canada are not familiar with these two concepts, daylight saving time and different time zones. So I'll keep sharing other interesting facts because see, I believe not just coming to Canada is important, settling here in Canada is also very, very important. So you need to imbibe the good things from this culture. Here in this culture, unlike South Asian culture which do not value time, here the value of time is very high. So 8 means 8, 9 means 9. Of course, Japanese culture has even higher value of time as compared to even Western culture, but as compared to the culture, South Asian culture, particularly India, Pakistan, where the value of time is not that high, here it is. So these are some good things which we can understand, learn. So thank you for understanding this. So any other thing which you want to know about any of the Canadian visa or immigration, you can make an appointment, book a consultation with us, and here is our office address, email ID, phone numbers, everything shared with you. Very important thing. If you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing, and thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks.